Dude, I know that Sigourney Weaver is hot, but control yourself. With the release of Underwater coming up, I think it's time to take a look at a quintessential science fiction classic. One that's not just science fiction, but horror related as well. Let's talk about Alien. See? Similar premises. Crew of contract workers, hostile and claustrophobic environment, scary monster. It fits. And also, yeah, I'm taking another stab at this sort of thing again. Alien is a great movie and all, but in what way is it important? How did it influence the medium of film and our culture? Why should anybody give it a watch, regardless if they like film or not? Let me list a few reasons as to why in this old segment with a new name, Pop Culture Flicks. See? Hopefully it sticks. And that I don't kill it when it's barely had a chance to walk. Boy howdy folks, this is the part of the video where I get to introduce Ridley Scott's Alien to people who don't really know all that much about it. Aren't they in for a surprise? Taking place in the 22nd century, fancy I know. It's about a group of astronauts who encounter an SOS message on their way back to Earth after picking up some mineral ore on a far-by planet. Ooh! They reroute their ship to save whomever sent the transmission, only to find an alien spacecraft that has long since crashed, with its extraterrestrial crew having died from mysterious circumstances. Well, given what they were carrying... One of the human astronauts gets implanted with an alien monster that grows into something hideous and dangerous. With their spaceship returning to Earth and with a predator on the loose in their quarters, it's up to the crew to figure out how to kill the creature and survive the trip home. Directed by Ridley Scott and written by science fiction and horror screenwriter Dan O'Bannon, Alien released to theaters in 1979 to a mixed, and some would say repulsed, reaction, but garnered success with critics and ultimately made 20th Century Fox money. So there's that. Now that I explained it to you, let me spoil things and give my reasons as to why Alien is considered a culturally significant film, and also to see if that sort of praise is totally deserved. Alien does deserve it, but I have a video to make. Let's continue. Reason number 1. Alien is one of the most notable examples of science fiction horror on film. If you haven't seen Alien before, what I just described and showed just sounds like a monster movie in a spaceship. And that's not really wrong, but there's more to Alien than that. Alien is shot as a horror movie. It's often labeled as a thriller and is pretty light on the science fiction aspects, or at least they are not in the focus. It does not spend a whole great deal of time giving a backstory to the crashed ship, the planetoid, the deceased aliens, or the alien monster featured in the film. What is described is only what matters to the story and what Alien sets out to be. Yeah, of course it alludes to these things, and yes, they did make plenty of sequel and tie-in to flesh out the universe of Alien. The environments are dark, damp, and foreboding. Almost all of the cast gets picked off one by one, and, not to mention, it's in space. An environment where humans aren't known for easily surviving in. One really has to wonder if this film factors into the slasher movie boom of the 80s in a way, even though Alien doesn't get lumped up with Halloween or Friday the 13th, so much as it does with Predator and other science fiction works made around that time. The most admirable thing about Alien is that it marries a horror movie with a science fiction setting. It creates something new that honors and respects both. Elements of the horror genre have always been paired with science fiction and fantasy elements, but this is where it felt effective, with a strong emphasis on the horror.